that people need to know that the goal of this initiative is to provide healing and some sort of support for the crisis that we have in Oregon right now, which is the mental health and addiction crisis. And we can do that through psilocybin-assisted psychotherapy. I think that in addition to that, they need to understand that this is a non-addictive, low toxicity fungi, and that when used in a proper set and setting, it provides amazing outcomes, and that there are risks, and that we do have to be careful to create standards. Therefore, we need a regulated format, and we've worked hard to create a framework that will protect our children. We've worked hard to create a framework that will ensure that no one drives after they've had this or while they're on this medication. We've worked hard to create a framework where we understand that you don't want these services near a school or in a suburban community. I think that when people understand that the goal of this initiative is not to have dispensaries on corners for sale for anybody, but it's really to be used within a service modality for therapeutic purposes, I think that changes the way that they see legalizing access to psilocybin therapeutic services.
Yeah, just to reiterate, there's nobody driving home. There's nobody outside wandering around in an altered state of mind. This isn't coming to your neighborhoods. This is in licensed facilities, not in houses. 21 and up. So once you get a sense of all of that, you realize that this is really contained and there's not a lot of risk. In fact, it's hard to find any. And there's a lot of benefit. So whether or not you're interested in, taking the plunge into a psilocybin experience in a controlled setting, that's up to you. But there are people who would benefit, and actually it will save lives. So, this isn't about legalizing another drug. This is about delivering life-saving services to people in need.
Yeah, it really is. I think it's also important to the public to understand that the people who are going to be administering these services will be well trained, and they will have to they'll have to first have the training, then they'll have to pass a state board exam before they can be licensed to facilitate a service that should provide assurance that they are getting the best care possible. So we've taken every diligence we can, every effort towards diligence to provide safety, address harm reduction, and also ensure that environment and the relationship with your facilitator is professional. It's going to be top-notch. You're going to be working with somebody who understands what could happen, what might not happen, what to do if anything happens, and there's safety in that. And that actually facilitates the experience itself.
And lastly, I'll just say that this is not about selling pills. This is not about selling services. There are guardrails against undue corporate influence. We're not putting this in a frame where there's going to be a gold rush of opportunity. This is really, the spirit of this initiative is to bring the healing to people in need. And I just think that's important to be aware of.
I think that's important to be aware of as well. I think it's also important to note that in this initiative, we're providing or creating an industry, and it's okay to make a meaningful living off of helping people to find healing. And so the fear that this is a money kind of greedy type of initiative, it's inaccurate. There are guardrails, as Tom shared, to prevent that from happening, but it's okay. We're therapists. People pay us to come and talk to us. They could go talk, as Tom says, to their mom, their dad, their friends, but sometimes those aren't the people you want to talk to. And so when we're thinking about psilocybin-assisted psychotherapy and we're thinking about services, we want to understand that community-based means that we can do all kinds of things. We can start 501c3s to help people who can't afford it. We can offer paid services and a few pro bono, but people can make meaningful livings from within this. So we're creating a little bit of an industry, yeah, but it's going to be a great industry. It's a healing industry. It's a real change of law, and the opportunity to do research in this state to figure out more benefits that psilocybin has for us is going to just expand. It's going to explode, and I'm extremely excited about those possibilities.